Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. Oh, I love how these photos take a hard left. Okay. I love it. This is called Never Too Late. And it's a photo that was probably made in the 70s, late 70s. It's an old Kodak. It's an old film photo. Uh-huh. There's a little boy holding on to a like a monkey barish thing in his diapers. So I'd say late 70s, early 80s. Wearing this very sweet sort of long sleeve with horizontal stripes, and behind, and as he's kind of swinging, holding himself up with this big smile on his face, there's a man behind in sort of 70s short shorts, tight t-shirt. I can't tell how handsome he is, but he's got a little mustache, looking good in a backyard somewhere. What's this? It's called Never Too Late.
That is 4-year-old Freddy, and you're right, 70s, so late 70s.
Okay.
I was 4, wearing a diaper.
No problem.
Yeah, so never too late.
I'm 50. I'm wearing a diaper right now. Who cares?
I have no idea who the gentleman playing with me is.
Oh,
I have no idea.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have no idea. My best guess is that this was at my Aunt Rosemary and Uncle Victor's house. Mm-hmm. Victor ran a local soccer club, and my best guess is that this was one of his players.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So why are we ending on this important signature image? Never too late.
Because it's never too late to get it together, to figure out what your meaning in life is, what your purpose in life is, what your mission in life is, what your massively transformative purpose is. Mm-hmm. Be in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s. I've listened to podcast interviews where there is a 100-year-old man who runs 5 miles 3 times a week. And he didn't start getting physically fit until after he recovered from colon cancer at the age of 69.
Amazing.
Started running marathons, and so obviously, as you get older, your body starts to deteriorate. So even though he's not running marathons, that he's still running 15 miles a week. When here. I don't know if the United States has exported its terrible habits regarding diet and exercise to Hong Kong, but we're pretty lazy. And
yet, as you say this, and you're again, these juxtapositions are like I don't know if this is a professional habit of yours that's become second nature for you, but it's like you're talking about this person who's like 90s, 100, who runs 15 miles a week, which is so inspiring. Mm-hmm. And as you're saying this, it's like there's this little boy holding on to this, like, I don't know, like steel kind of chin-up bar or whatever in this backyard, like a monkey bar set. And you're just holding himself up with this, like, the physicality and the joy and everything. So why this juxtaposition?
I just think it's never too late.
Okay.
The only time it's too late is when you're on your deathbed and you got regrets. And so, yeah, it's just, I tell myself that, and I look at that picture. I mean, man, I was cute. I was a cute little kid. And, my mom would joke with you that she cried when I was born because apparently I look like a rat and I wasn't a very cute baby. Although, in my defense, most babies are not exactly cute fresh out the womb, dude.
No, absolutely not.
We got all kinds of placenta fluids all over, gunk and shit.
Yeah,
the doctor, the nurse has to clean us off.
No, for sure. So are you? What's your birth order? Are you first, second, third?
First.
Oh, you're the eldest. Okay.
Yeah.
So all of this stuff that informs who you are, and then how it manifests, for example, to do the sort of the companion animal protection, because you're saying in Houston there's such a huge gap to kind of cross in terms of unwanted animals and then cruelty to animals. And then you went from working within a radio station to all of a sudden, that job ending, and then you going, okay, well, I have to, create a new life for myself. Mm-hmm. And how it's manifested is to do this podcasting production company or platform. But then also weaved into that is the animal protection. So what is in your world never too late?
I say those words because I don't want my kids to ever go through life and go through their careers feeling that they're stuck doing what they're doing. And as much as I wish them nothing but success and happiness, I know from personal experience that your career that you can experience a world of letdowns, that you can be loyal to people, you can bust your ass, and you can still be slapped in the face. And so what I don't want them to ever feel is that they've got to settle for something. I don't want them to ever settle. And I just want them to understand that, okay, I'm 37 or I'm 40. In my case, I'm 47. But, they could be 35, 37. They could be 40, 42, 47, 55. And if something happens, they get screwed over or they get an offer that they can refuse and they feel like they're trapped, that it's not too late. It's only work.
Sure.
I mean, we're in America, baby. And we got problems. I'm not going to deny that, but this moment in time in 2023, we're so lucky. There is money to be made, and never, ever, ever worry about having to pay your bills. If you've got the gumption, you've got the will, you've got the drive, you got the passion, you've got that MTP, you've got curiosity.
Yeah.
The world is yours, and it's not going to be easy, but it's possible.
So just to kind of fit myself into that, to kind of shed a bit of light on from my perspective, right? So in my case, what I've done from, I don't know, college, I guess, is I've funneled into communications, right? And then with the pandemic, all of a sudden my client got super sick, so that work stopped. And then there was like the economics within Hong Kong, so that work stopped. And then also now with AI, being a communications person and writing person, all of a sudden the jobs have fizzled. And so this notion of it's never too late, but it's sort of like that whole lesson of you have intrinsic value. Like, so for your daughter, for my daughter, for you as a human, for me as a human, it's like to remember the lesson that we have this intrinsic value, that even if the world doesn't recognize or pay you back, that somehow you have to have faith or take consolation or self-inspiration or self-motivation to keep plugging away, because it's just the circumstance, right? What is that for your next 6 months or whatever, for your podcasting, for your world? Like, what is the big sort of goal that you want to achieve?
Yeah, it's twofold. One, I am going to be launching a podcast version of my book. I'm doubling down on the art of podcasting. This is the future. The future is decentralized, and podcasting is part of it. And the institutional corporations can stay mad.
Okay, wait. I have to interrupt, because okay. So I know you may have, like, somebody listening will be like, dude, you should have followed this up hours ago or whatever it was, a whole time ago. Book? Pimp it out. Which book? What's the book?
It's called Allow Me to Ruin Your Christmas. And this is the cover right here. And so it's
Freddy fucking Cruz. Come on. Okay.
yeah,
How many books have you written?
3.
Okay. So this particular book is called "Allow Me to Ruin Your Christmas."
Yeah, and it's gonna be a year old, and sales were, it is what it is. It's hard. It's hard to make. It's not a
Books are
living.
books.
It's
No, I know.
It is not a living, but I am in a position to where I own a podcast agency, and I can invest a little bit of capital into a narrator, a very talented narrator. His name is Kevin Quinn. He's going to be the voice of the book, and I'm going to be releasing it instead of as an audio book. I'm going to be releasing it as a podcast series, because if I believe that podcasting is the future, then I need to put my money where my mouth is. And so that's going to be what I'm doing. So that's one. And then 2, I have begun putting together a series of courses. We went over this picture, my gift and how I intend to help others. There are going to be a series of online courses centered around podcasting, how to be a guest on a podcast, how to interview guests, how to launch a show, how to use writing techniques to create a binge-worthy podcast. There are a lot of parallels between writing fiction and podcasting as it pertains to telling your brand's story. So
Yeah.
I've it's just in thinking of how to market and brand my company. That was one way. I mean, you could easily use the hero villain structure. You can use the
Right.
anti-hero structure, plot, setting. There are so many different things that translate to having a dynamic, just really amazing kick-ass podcast. And so that's what I intend to do.
How do people find you how do people find you?
Yeah, spekepodcasting.com, and it's SPEKE. So rhymes with the name Zeke, SPEKE, podcasting.com.
Okay, and that's the sort of the overarching platform where people can. But are your 3 books there as well?
You can look me up on Amazon.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's so okay because we're only now. Okay, so tell me about your book. You have to listen. Sell your book. You're going to turn it into a podcast. Is it a fiction book?
Yeah. All 3 of my books are fiction. They're standalone, so it's no series. I'm thinking about.
Oh wow.
I'm thinking about turning this one into I'm about 10 pages deep into a sequel, and then I got in my head, and then I started second guessing myself, and I stopped. I'll eventually pick up where I left off and continue writing it. But this book is it's first person POV alternating chapters, so it follows the story of Beckett and Lex. Beckett is a college kid, comes home, finds out that his favorite podcaster, Lex Griffin of the Lex Griffin Show, is dating his mom, and he finds out in the most awkward way possible. And then it cascades into a whole series of dark secrets and betrayal. Turns out Lex finds out Lex is the reason why Beckett's dad died years ago. And it's a comedy of errors. It's dark, it's funny, but then it's dark, and then it gets a little violent. And they're just the lies, the betrayals, the twists, the turns. It was a lot of fun writing it.
Amazing. And so Freddy Cruz, right? That's your name on Amazon?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Freddy with a Y.
Nice. Freddy with a Y. Listen, these episodes go by so fast.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Like, you have a real. I can see why you would be. Wait, first of all, maybe why the training led you to be so good in terms of the community. Well, first of all, speaking, of course, but then also in terms of the kind of community engagement, community involvement, community service, loud and clear.
Thank you.
I really, respect.
Thank you very much, man. Really appreciate you inviting me to your space.
Of course. Okay, Freddy, have an amazing time in Houston. Get that shirt done.
All right, will do.
Okay, have a really good evening.
All right, thanks. You too.
So, is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting.